What's going on, you guys? I'm Grits, Warzone's most winning player, as you can see on the leaderboard behind me. Today's video, I'm going to go over my controller settings. I've been playing controller for about a year and a half, and these are the things I've learned along the way, and I'm going to share them with you. So you want to do is go into settings, controller. We have it set to controller. Button layout, that's all preference on what your button layout is. Mine's default, stick layout is default. My sensitivity is 1.65. So I recently lowered this from 1.7 to 1.65 because I changed my ADS sensitivity as well, which we'll go over in a second. Simplify controls off, low motor strain off, bumper ping off. All right, for my dead zones, I have left stick min at 0 and left stick max at 65. The logic between like the left stick max having it at a certain number, what this is doing is lowering the amount you have to move the stick in order to get what you want done. So for example, if I have it set at 100, I have to move the stick to max all the way up in order to get that full actuation. But when you have it set to a lower number like 65, it reduces the amount you have to move the stick in order to get that desired effect. So it saves you a couple milliseconds. Right stick min I have at 1 and right stick max I have at 99. After your right stick min, the important thing here is you want to eliminate any stick drift. For my right stick min, I have it set really low at 1. I don't have Hall effect or TMR sticks. However, I do have an aim controller. Aim controllers have great quality. Their stick drift is minimal. And they do have an option to buy TMR sticks. So if you have TMR sticks, guaranteed to never have stick drift again, then you can just set this to 0 at all times. However, if you're having stick drift, set it low, go into the firing range. If you notice that you still are drifting, increase it to 2. Save it, go back to the firing range, and you keep edging it up edging it up one more at a time until you notice there's no more stick drift. You want this as low as possible. That way you don't have this big dead zone when you move your stick just slightly one direction and it does nothing, right? You want there to be the lower number here, the better. Right stick max 99, left trigger 0, right trigger 0. Now we'll go over to aiming sensitivity multiplier. I just leave this on default. I don't know. I like third person sensitivity multiplier is at 2. Look conversion I have standard. Aiming advanced settings. Look conversion, everything set standard. ADS sensitivity, transition, timing. Now I will go into this a little bit because a lot of people have this set to gradual or after zoom. I'm going to tell you why instant's the best. But first, let's go over the rest. Third person ADS correction type assist, aim response curve dynamic. Have your aim response curve set to 1. Custom sensitivity per zoom. Now, I had this at 0.90 as of yesterday. However, Mr. John Sparrows told me that you have a lot more aim assist, rotational aim assist specifically, if you have it at 1.0. And I guess a lot of the pros that are going to World Series of Warzone have all been recently changing it to 1.0 because they noticed they have a lot stronger aim assist. So I tested this yesterday and it does indeed feel like it's a lot more sticky. I do need more testing here to give you 100% like this is the way it works. But as of a couple games last night, I could not miss. So I would definitely try 1.0 because my short experience with it last night was it fries. It absolutely was having me dropping nukes on everybody. So try that out. Let me know how it works for you down in the comments. For the ADS sensitivity transition timing, we're going to go into the firing range. And what you're going to notice is when your ADS, right? And as soon as you let go of ADS, you can move fast, right? But if you go into here and you have after zoom, that time it takes from when you zoom and you're moving back to fully holster your weapon, you are slow. So watch, I'm gonna move as soon as I let go of ADS, and as soon as I do, I'm gonna start moving, and you're gonna notice how slow it is. See how there's like that pause? It's very slight, but now the reason it's important is when you're in a window shooting someone and then they start shooting you, what you want to do is un-ADS and move as quick as possible, right? You want to move. But because you are slightly slower turning until you're fully holstered, it does take a while. And this affects things like snipers with a slower ADS time a lot more, right? So make sure you have it on instant. That way, when you're trying to peek and turn after, you know, getting shot at, you're able to do so a lot quicker. So go in your settings, aim advanced settings, instant. All right. Target aim assist is on. ADS aim assist is on. Motion behavior off. Motion sensor advanced settings. I haven't messed with that anything in here. I would just leave this all the same because it's off anyways. Under movement, we have sprint assist, tactical sprint assist. You need to have this on. Mantle assist off, crouch assist off, corner slice on. I have it more as like for like the viewer experience. Essentially, when you go up against a corner of like a door or something, it does that like animation when you're leaning out. When you're ADS, if you turn that off, it'll always just be aiming straight up. Now, what I noticed is whether that's on or off, your character model does the same thing anyways, so there's no benefit to it. It's just a visual thing. So that's personal preference. If you like it on, keep it on. Slide, dive behavior, hybrid. So for hybrid, I have to push in my left stick while pressing the crouch button in order for me to dive. Now this gives me the least amount of like input delay. I will show you a couple other ones. So for tap to slide, the issue with this is it's like it gives you a delay before it lets you slide because it's trying to see if you're going to hold it or tap it, and the same for tap to dive. So the most input delay you will have if you use these two. Slide only, dive only, the least amount of delay because it's not going to look for you to dive or slide if you have it on one or the other. It's just going to do what you input. Hybrid, this one, the delay for your input delay for this is a lot better, but I like to be able to dive. There's a lot of situations in the game where if I couldn't dive, then I was missing out on some mechanics in the game that could have saved me in that very specific instance. So hybrids will I roll with here. Sprint restore on, slide maintain sprint on, parachute automatic behavior. Make sure you turn this off. Make sure you turn this off because you're going to get in situations where you want to land a little bit lower to the ground, and this is going to prevent you from doing that. Mantle cancels reload off. Movement advanced settings. So everything here is standard. Now I haven't touched it. Toggle off, off, off. Single tap run, free for plunging underwater, and sprinting door bash. Vehicle behaviors, driver control, aim base control, long delay, and free look. And this is what I use to lean out, which is your melee. Under combat, aim down slide behavior hold, tactical stance behavior on toggle, ADS button for your attack stance activation, not very important. Weapon mount activation, I have ADS melee. Dedicated melee weapon activation is hold. This is just what you prefer, whether body shield, so it doesn't really matter there. Okay, so this is armor plate behavior. So the only time I would recommend applying applying one is because you're using quick fix. Now, if you're using quick fix, you might notice that when you start plating, that it won't stop plating until you're fully plated. However, if you have apply one on and have quick fix, it'll let you put in one plate, and then you can go back to reach out with your ADS. However, if you have apply all, there's no way to stop the plating animation with quick fix. So that's basically the only time I would suggest using apply one. Outside of that, I use apply all. C4 detonation activation one by one. That way you're able to throw one, quickly double tap square, and it'll blow up, right? But that's how you would do the one by one. Equipment behaviors hold, manual fire, press, combat here. Let's see anything different. Prioritize interacts important here. I realize that like some people have prioritized reload. I don't think that's the correct way to do it. I firmly believe prioritize interact gives you the best experience while running around the map. Overlay, toggle. These are all default settings. Take a screenshot if you want. Those are my controller settings. I've gotten the most wins in Warzone with these settings. I've mostly been playing controller. Are you guys looking for a new controller and want the best ones on the market? I'm here to tell you that In Controllers is the best controller on the market. They offer lifetime warranty on their controllers for all modified parts. On top of that, they have the best performance and their quality is top notch. They also have 4 paddles on the back that you can manually set to whatever buttons you want. And I'm telling you right now, I've been using these controllers for over a year and I will not be going to any other controller. They're the ones I trust in every single one of my lobbies. They also offer TMR sticks, which guarantees 0 stick drift ever when you own that controller. So head to the link in the description and use code GRITS at checkout for a massive discount. If you have any questions for me as far as my controller settings, comment down below and I will respond to every single one of them. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.